Drum, who will be going into his fourth over. Three overs, one maiden, none for nine. And he'll be moving into bowl to Johnson. Johnson taps away at the crease, lifts the bat. Now here's Yakdam in now and bowls. Outside the awesome driven, straight drive, fine shot, 4 runs. There's no question about it. Pitched up. And he drove it sweetly back past the bowler, who didn't have the remotest of chance on his follow through. And it rushed past him down to the boundary for 4. And he's been looking so good. He's gone now rather quickly. He's gone to 37. And the total has pushed on Guyana to 71 for 2.
Yeah, good shot. Straight down the ground. Yeah, gentle medium pace, military medium, over pitch. And got the treatment it deserved. 4 runs for Leon Johnson.
Delivery outside the arse stump. Rocks onto the back foot. And cuts the ball down to gully. Just looks a little bit more aggressive today than usual. You wouldn't want to put him into the mold of a very aggressive batsman, is Johnson. But he does look rather positive today. Yadram once more. 2 slips and a gully. Supporting him in the shallow. Then there is a point and extra cover in the mid-off. That's the outside field. As Yadram moves in now to bowl to Johnson. Johnson is driving well, fine shot, 4 runs. To the right of mid-on. That was pitched up, over pitch, half volley. And he drove at it sweetly, hit the middle of the bat. And from the moment it passed, the extra cover fielder, who is just about 15 yards from the bat, we knew it was going to go for 4. And it went very quickly across the turf. Lewis was going after it, but couldn't pull it back. So Johnson, Hetma, they've just brought up the 50-run partnership, 65 balls, 55 minutes, Tony.
Yes, I think the Windies would have missed the trick with the Yadram bowling very gentle medium pace and over pitching deliveries. Yes, the conditions are great and it's good conditions for seam bowling, but he's not really swinging the ball at all. And Johnson just eats and drinks good, and just playing through the line. The pitch is so perfect. It is so good for batting. Offers a bit to the seamers also, but it's very good for batting. You can, of course, it's the second day on this pitch, and he's playing so well, and Johnson is making full use of that.
Yeah, Drum this time from over the wicket, passes the umpire, and now he's there and bowls to Johnson. Johnson is in defence and pushes it just to the right of the bowler and follow through, just at the opposite side of the wicket. And this time there is no run, so 75 for 2. I think noticeably too, Tony, the outfield is a bit faster than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was rather heavy. I guess with the ground drying out after harsh sunshine, it just makes it much harder. And that would allow the ball to go across the turf much quicker. Yatdram again is in now and bowls to Johnson. Johnson is leaving that alone outside the off stump. Good judgment. Just outside the off stump. That little corridor of uncertainty, if you want to put it that way. But he left it alone, and Stewart behind the stumps getting good carry, takes it around the chest area, although admittedly he's a rather short man, but there was a good carry attached to it. 75 for 2. Johnson is 41, Hetma is 19. They both have looked pretty good so far, and remembering all the time, Volcanoes dismissed for 318. Yatdram is in now and bowls to Johnson. Johnson pulls, and that goes where? That goes down to the behind the keeper's head, didn't it? And it went to the boundary for 4. But he certainly was not in control. He was looking to pull that in front of square. As to whether the ball might have hustled on him, or maybe it just got a little steep on him, and the ball went over the keeper's area and down to the boundary for 4. A little bit of fortune there. However, he's got to 45. It's 79 for 2 at the end of the over.
A short delivery from Yadram, and Johnson looking to hit it in front of square. Got a top edge on the ball, flew past Emmanuel Short and went down to the boundary for 4. I think, like I said before, the Windwarders would have missed the trick. Yadram coming in is a bit expensive, 4 overs for 21 runs. And I think that's the reprieve that Guyana actually was looking for, having to chase a total of 317, having lost the first 2 early wickets. And these two doing quite well at the moment, partnership of some 50-odd runs in just about 55 minutes. It means that they're batting extremely well, and they're making full use of the opportunities that they have been given by Yadram, who is not bowling very well at this moment. A lot of half volleys, and Johnson, very content to play through the line and play a number of shots, and try to get Guyana as close as possible to that target.
So Lewis is pulled back into the attack. 6 overs, 3 maidens, none for 13. And he's going to move into a bowl to hit Ma. Here he is now, bowls to hit Ma. Hit Ma comes forward, clips it out to mid-wicket. Good diving stop there by Shillingford, moving across to his left. Had to make coverage rather quickly because the ball was neatly timed and covered about 10 yards to his left and just knocked it down, then tumbled over to ensure that it didn't go past him. Total remains on 79 for 2. Hit Ma is 19 of 26. He's batted pretty well so far. Doesn't seem to be in any discomfort at all, as here once more is Lewis. Passes the umpire, he's in now and bowls to Hitmar outside the off stump. Lets it go by as Stewart collects behind the stumps. So they did a Tony at 25 for 2 in a bit of bother. But these two, who you'd want to call seasoned players, although Hitmar is only 23 years of age, but the fact that he is into international cricket and playing at the highest level, they have done something of a bit of redemption for Guyana Jaguars. Here is Lewis in bowls outside the off stump of the back foot and cuts that nice down to the boundary. I think it's going to go all the way. Yes, it does. 4 runs. Oh, that was a lovely shot. He really went after it. It was short outside the off stump, cuttable, and he was onto the back foot in a flash. And he spanked it square of the wicket on the offside, and it went down to the boundary, in front of square, I dare say. And it went for 4. Lovely shot. Hitmar has gone to 23. The total is pushed on to 83 for 2.
That's a lovely shot. Off the back foot. Shot delivery from Lewis. The previous delivery, Hitmar had a good look at it. This one shot off the back foot and crashed that through cover and backward point. And 4 runs was the result.
Yeah, here once more is Lewis in now. Passes the umpire. He's there and bowls to Hitmar. That's a good delivery. It really was a good delivery. But again, you've got to give great credit to Hitmar, who left it to go by, let it go by, and Stewart just collecting behind the stumps.
Well, I think what happened to is that he judged it well. Now, the wicket is playing so good. It is really an excellent surface that the batsmen have real confidence in terms of the bounce of the wicket, because he played that purely on the bounce. And, is very comfortable out there and looking rather dangerous, I must say, at this time.
Yes, he's been very positive. He moves in once more. It's Lewis in now. Brushes past the umpire, bowls to Hitmar, who clips that nicely in front of square. They've hustled for 1. They thought about coming back for the second. The return comes to the non-striker's end, and they decide against it quite sagaciously too, wisely. The ball did travel rather quickly, and Hodge having to run across to his right. Made good coverage. 1 more to the total. Well, Hitmar has now gone to 23, and the total has moved on to 83 for 2. As it's now going to be Johnson who will be taking strike. It's overcast here. It's been like that for the past 2 or so hours. As here once more is Lewis. Right arm medium fast. He's passing the umpire and bowls to Johnson. Johnson comes forward, clips it nicely off the toes, gets it down to long leg. Maxwell comes off the boundary, sends a lobbish return back to the keeper, and the batsman had time to cross for 1. So 1 more to the total, which has now gone to 84. Johnson's gone to 45. Hitmar is 24. Johnson will be taking strike at the end of the over, and Lewis 7 overs, 3 maidens, none for 18.
Yeah, I think the Windwards, they've been a little bit ill-disciplined, especially with their line. We find them bowling on both sides of the wicket instead of being on our body off stump and making the batsmen, fight for the runs. But one must give credit to Hitmar and Johnson, having lost the 2 early wickets. Of course, they're 2 senior players, and I do believe that when you're playing at the highest level and you're playing at this level, you should be seen at least. And both Hitmar and Johnson, who would have played a lot of cricket, Johnson a lot of cricket, Hitmar is playing at the highest level, and we are seeing them exhibiting their skill and their talent here. Good recovery, good positive batting, good partnership. Some 58 runs added for this the 4th wicket. The 3rd wicket, and Guyana would be quite pleased at this stage, having lost the first 2 wickets and going down cheaply, that they would have redeemed themselves a bit at 84 for the loss of 2 now. We'll want to go in and have a little freshener and come back and do battle later on to challenge the 313 and 17 scored by the Windwards.
Well, just in case you recently joined us, because we were off the air for most of the day, just to let you know that the Windwards were dismissed for 318. That's right, 318. And two special scores, one of 55 by Cotoy, who really batted very well, and Shane Shillingford, who did a very good rear guard action, got 55. Sherman Lewis played a supportive role to Shane Shillingford for 24. 318 all out, 15 extras, 5 leg buys, 10 no balls. Joseph had 1 for 52, Smith 1 for 63, Reefer 1 for 46, Barnwell 1 for 20. Versami Permal, I'm going to give you his full stats: 33.5 overs, 12 maidens, picked up 4 for 59, and Vishu 24 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 23. Hemraj Chandapal was caught Kotoy of the bowling of Maxween, beg your pardon. He went without scoring. Chandapal was caught Stewart of the bowling of Jordan for 11, and since then these two, that's Johnson and Hetmar, they've just brought respectability back to the total. They're now 85 for 2. Johnson is 48. Hetmar is 24. It's tea time now. 26 overs gone in the innings, and we'll be here to bring you ball-by-ball commentary at the resumption of play. Thank you, Tony. You know, you took me into the rut there.
No, we're feeling over there, you know. Then
Huh?
we're feeling like.
No, I'm just talking about Hemraj Chandapal. If you see what I write down here. So thank you for coming and saying Maxwell, because you realize I got a bit stuck.
Yeah, them guys. What is your drum bowling, man? In the city?
Yeah, it's not far.
Let me come over. We feel like I can just go.
Anything.
Go. We feel like I can just take it from over from after. Right?
Yeah, well, either is by Kentucky. I have to drop something for somebody.
Yeah, but you don't charge it in town.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That thing. So let me see if I can catch up with. And welcome back here. It's the post-tea session. The Jaguars, of course, going back up to battle. Johnson is 46, Ma 24, 85 for 2. As we say, welcome again to Tony Dixon.
Yes, good afternoon. It's back to you again, Stephen, and to all your listeners, wherever you are. This is going to be a very important session as it relates to this game. The two most senior players and best batsmen are out in the middle, Chevron Hepmeyer and Lyndon Johnson. And the Windward Islands would want to really get one of these two men out. Of course, Hepmeyer would need some runs, and Johnson also, captain. He's been batting quite well so far on 46. Hepmeyer is on 24. And they have been putting a decent partnership together, some 58 runs thus far. So this is going to be a very crucial session. Some 39 overs still remaining in the day's play. And whoever goes on top here this afternoon, they find themselves winning first innings. Of course, partnership for Guyana is so crucial at this juncture in the game. When the Windward Islands, after having toiled so hard to reach the target of 317, we want to get as many wickets as possible this afternoon, Stephen.
Well, it's going to be Shane Shillingford who's going to take up the bowling attack. He's brought into the attack for the first time in this innings. And it will be Johnson, who is on 46. He's played very well, 46 of 76 deliveries. He'll be taking strike, just a slip in backward point. And there's a man just on the drive, extra cover, long off. Mid-on is up in what would be an imaginary circle. He is Shillingford bowls, and Johnson comes forward. One given generous flight, pushes it out to the short mid-off fielder there in Hodge, and there is no run. Still 85 for 2. Johnson is 46. He's really batted well, looking for that landmark of 50. Shillingford right arm, of course, off spin, round the wicket, passes the umpire. Now he's there and bowls, and Johnson gets a good flighted delivery. He's right and equal to the task, pushes the ball out to mid-off, short mid-off. Again, I'm saying on the drive, that of course is for the drive that is a little bit uppish. Shillingford again moves back and begins to move forward now. He's in and bowls, and he's looking to sweep that down to backward square. He does so now. That's 4 runs. I think it's going to go all the way. Yes, 4. It was outside the leg stump, ill-directed delivery, and he swept it with one hand, and it went down to the boundary for 4. So he gets his 50. Well played, Johnson. And that, in fact, was an easy ball to sweep down to backward square. 79 balls, 107 minutes, and a well-deserved, well-played half-century.
Yes, positive from the captain, Leon Johnson. Came in with his team in some bother and has played a splendid knock thus far of 50.
Shillingford again moves in to bowl to Johnson. Johnson is sweeping again down to backward square. I don't think it's going to go all the way this time because there is a fielder stationed down there. The return is going to come in from Maxween, one that just pushes the keeper back a couple of yards, and the batsmen have time to cross for 1. So 1 more to Johnson is now gone to 51, and the total has moved on now to 90 for 2. Brings Hepmeyer, who's 24, to strike. And Hepmeyer was batting rather quickly because his 24 runs have come off only 30 deliveries. Just making sure that his gloves fitted nicely. Spins the bat like the former Indian batsman Mahultra used to do back then. As here he is again. Shillingford bowls to Hepmeyer, who is coming forward, just pushes the ball in front of him on the offside to a short mid-off, and there is no run. I think you've got to admire the way that these two have gone about constructing their innings and doing a bit of repair work. Shillingford to Hepmeyer. Hepmeyer is coming forward and just pushes it on the contrasting side of the wicket, this time on the onside. That completes the over. 27 overs gone, 90 for 2. Hepmeyer is 24. Johnson will be taking strike on 51.
It's not a particularly too impressive over from Shane Shillingford. 2 deliveries that was badly lined outside the line of the leg stump, and Johnson obliged one that he swept backwards square for 4, and then collecting the single with the other one. But at least again, these two players, they are continuing to play positive. They need to do that. They will need to. They're conferring now. They're talking it out in the middle there, because they both know that it is so important that they remain there for as long as possible. and build a big partnership in order for the team to gain that first innings, that crucial first innings points.
Yes, good repair work by these two. Don't forget the second wicket went with a total of 25 when Chanderpaul was caught steward of the bowling of Ray John. It was a pearl of a delivery, one that just took the outside edge. It reared at him too. It was somewhere around the chest area, and Stewart had a simple catch. But Jordan did work up a bit of steam this morning on the shorter side, as here is Lewis moving in now to bowl to Johnson, and Johnson pushes in up in front of him on the outside. The bowler rushes through and follow through, but that was a good sense of alertness on the part of the two batsmen. Hetmar was quick to respond. Johnson called him through, and they were able to scamper a single. So one more to Johnson is now gone to 52. It's now 91 for 2. Brings Hetmar into strike.
Yeah, the communication between both batsmen quite good. Soft hands. Johnson just dropping the ball down in front of him. Immediately took off for the single. Hetmar responded quite nicely, and it's good rotation in the strike as Lewis again continue from the southern end.
Yeah, and begins to move in. Nice approach, smooth approach, passes the umpire now, and both to Hetmar. Hetmar is driving well. Fine shot, just partially knocked down there at extra cover by Hodge. And if he didn't do that, it might well have gone to the boundary for 4. I said, Hodge, that should be Kotoy. Just knocked it down. But the batsman had time to cross for 1 from the parrying or ricocheting. One more to Hetmar's total. He's now got to 25, the quarter century mark. Total has moved on to 92 for 2. These two really look very well. Johnson taps away at the crease, looks up and sees that Lewis is coming in. He's there now and bowls. He's in defense. Bat and bat close together, right over the top of the ball, and pushes it out to short extra cover. As Kotoy comes in once more, picks up and holds the return to the keeper. Total remains on 92 for 2. So Hemraj Chanderpaul caught Kotoy of the bowling of Maxween without scoring, and Chanderpaul was caught Stewart of the bowling of Ray Jordan for 11. It was 25 for 2 then, and these two have done a great job of repairing the damage done. Here is Lewis in now, and Bolster Johnson feels for a good delivery outside the off stump. Well bowled. And he might well say that he played inside the line. That's not so at all. He pushed and probed at it, and the ball went past the pushing blade as Stewart collected behind the stumps. The total remains on 92 for 2. Well bowled. Yeah,
and that's the line that Lewis needs to be bowling. I think the Windwards generally they have been on both sides of the wicket, making it easier for the batsmen to score. And they will need to be able to stay at least on one side of the wicket, on or about the off stump, and make scoring difficult for the batsmen. And that was a really good delivery there from Lewis.
Yes, the last few overs prior to tea, really the Guyanese batsmen, they were scoring, if not at will, but certainly much quicker than the earlier times. They've pushed on nicely now to 92 for 2. As Lewis once more from the far end, the River Road end, in dark, gloomy, glum, dull condition, begins to move in now to bowl to Johnson. Johnson is driving neatly and sweetly up to mid-off, but the ball is travelling very quickly. Maxween comes across to his left, picks up. They have been middling the ball quite admirably, and there is nothing better than when you have the sweet sound of willow meeting leather, perfect connection. It brings a sense of excitement to the batsmen, and also excitement, of course, to the fans. You know it's well timed. Here once more is Lewis in now to bowl to Johnson. Johnson is looking to turn that up on the onside. There's an appeal maybe for, like before. That was slanting down the leg side. Good diving save there by Emmanuel Stewart. That completes the over at the end of it with 52 to Johnson. Hetmar's 25 will be taking strike. 92 for 2. That's the latest score here at the National Stadium.
Yes, a better over from Lewis there. That final delivery one that was slanting down the leg side, the short for leg before, obviously, that was going down the leg side. Guyana still scoring at a healthy 3.29 per over, which is a lot more than what the Windwards did in the entire innings of 317. So these two batters have been very positive. They've played well. I must say also that the Windward Islands, they have fielded very well. A number of well-timed cover drives have been stopped by especially Kotoy, who is in the cover position. He has been excellent in the field and would have saved a number of boundaries, and I think that always augurs well for the fielding team.
Shillingford is in, bows to Hitmar. Hitmar comes forward and plays the ball up on the offside of the pitch, and there is no run. It's been a very good innings by him so far. He looked very relaxed, very composed, and he was quick to pounce on anything that was loose. Here is Shillingford once more, wrong the wicket, right arm off spin, and he's moving into bowl to Hitmar, who to this delivery is turning that up on the onside to forward short leg. No aggressive intention here. I think he's going to be much more selective. I know that the ears and eyes of the people in the region on him, as it's once more Shillingford in, bowls to Hitmar. Hitmar gets one that is of lower trajectory, gets onto the back foot, whips it nicely through the mid-wicket area. The runs here for him, this is going to go very close to the boundary, pull back just inside. Ray Jordan sends the return, pushes Stewart back, and they had time to cross for 3. Good, nice shot. It was onto the back foot. He just leaned onto the back foot, transferring the body weight, and he whipped it nicely through mid-wicket, and they were able to get 3. He's got to 28. The total has moved on now to 95 for 2.
Yes, the ball is turning, but turning very slow from Sheen Shillingford, and Hitmar very balanced there. Nice shot of the back foot through mid-wicket.
Shillingford once more into bowl to Hitmar, who to this delivery is turning that out on the onside. Who might have taken the pad rather and went behind square, but no attempt of a single there. Total remains on 95 for 2, as it's once more Shillingford. This should be the 5th delivery of the over. In now to bowl to Johnson. Johnson gets a beauty, an absolute beauty. That was the faster one, and he was looking to turn it out on the onside, and Stewart collected behind the stumps. Well bowled.
Yes, good delivery there, and I think that's the line that he needs to be bowling. Johnson deceived by that one, turned a bit, square him up.
Shillingford again in. Rather quiet here at the stadium. He's in and bowls to Johnson. Johnson comes forward and just turns it up, pokes it up on the onside. The over comes to an end, and at the end of the over, 95 for 2. Johnson is 52, Hitmar is 28. And this, Tony, is a good response to 318 all out by Windward Volcanoes.
Yes, and it's going to be an interesting battle this afternoon. Of course, the wicket is playing extremely well. We haven't seen anything out of the ordinary from the wicket. It has offered assistance to the seamers. We have not seen the ball spun that much. The batters are very comfortable with it. They can play the drives because the bounce is very true. And these 2 batters in Johnson and Hitmar, they are very skilled players, and Guyana will be depending on them to hold a big partnership. It's a decent first innings total by the Windwards. Of course, Lewis, who has bowled well, again needs to be more on one side of the wicket, and once he can do that, can create some problems for both of these batsmen.
Well, he has been pulled off out of the attack, and 8 overs, 3 maidens, not for 21. Ray Jordan, no, it seems to be Maxween. That's right. Maxween will move in to bowl to Hitmar. Hitmar edges. That's going to go down to 3rd man for 4. Well, somebody may say that he just opened the face of the bat. I say no. There was a generous edge. It went between the second slip and gully, between Fletcher, who's feeling that second slip. No chance at all. And it went down to the boundary for 4. But just looking at his body language, I think he was upset with himself. The way that he sort of chided himself, and as if to say, no, I really should not have played that. But he got 4 runs for it, whatever the case is. Gone to 32, it's 99 for 2.
Yes, good delivery by Maxwell, getting the ball to leave the left-handed batsman as he comes in again to Hitmar.
Here he is, passes the umpire now, and bowls to Hitmar. Hitmar leaves that alone quite judiciously this time outside the off stump. Didn't play at that one, didn't go fishing. Stewart collects behind the stumps.
I think also, Stephen, that throughout the course of the Windward innings so far, Maxwell has been the only person, I think, so far who would have kept the ball in a particular area. He's bowled a couple of short deliveries, which is not really his sort of bowling, but he has been able to keep the ball just on or body off stump.
Here he's coming in now, just leans forward, straightens up his approach. He's there and bowls to Hitmar. Hitmar is hitting that in the air. The catch is going to be taken. Hitmar is gone. He's caught there at mid-wicket. Well, he got a short one, and he was onto the back foot, and looking maybe to pull. I think it was kind of a half-hearted pull. The ball spiraled into the air, and it was a simple catch. The fielder coming in there from mid-wicket takes it, and so Hetmar goes. He's gone for 32. And Cato coming in there from mid-wicket takes a very simple catch. He's gone for 32, and the Jaguars there now 99 for 3.
Yeah, that's a big wicket. That's a big wicket by Preston McSween there. I was just making the point that Preston McSween is getting the ball to leave the left-handed batsman, and that delivery just short of a good length. The ball is coming back into Hetmar, cramped him for space, looking to hit the ball through the onside, looking to play the pull shot, tucked up a bit and gave a very simple catch to the man at short mid-wicket. Of course, the Windward Islands, they're very elated. Hetmar looked good. Of course, we all know what he can do, but it was not to be this afternoon. That was the victory that the Windward Islands needed. Good comeback by Preston McSween. I was just making the point in terms of him being the only person so far on the Windward team who were able to keep the ball in one particular area on our body off stump. And there it was, Hetmar being deceived. Good delivery from McSween, and Hetmar would have lost his wicket.
Yeah, prize wicket, and probably the most valuable wicket for Guyana. So it must be, he must be very upset with himself, no doubt about that. And we're not taking anything away from the bowler, but he certainly did not handle that well at all.
Yeah, well, I think, all credit must be given to the bowler. He pulled this one just a little bit back, but the ball was always coming back into Hetmar, and really cramped for space and was not able to execute the shot as well as he would have liked, and just posed a simple catch to the man at short mid-wicket.
So it's now 99 for 3. Christopher Barnwell has come in, and he would have to play a sound role here. As here is McSween moving in now to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell is opening the face of the bat and glides it down to Gully. And the ever-present, fleet-footed, fast, cat-like feline movement of Kotoy comes across to his left, covered about 20 yards quickly, and cut off whatever chance there might have been for a single. And look at where Hodge is, and he just shows you how quickly he comes across the turf. Here once more is McSween. He's picked up 2 wickets so far, 2 for 14, moves in, passes the umpire now, and bowls to Barnwell. Barnwell is in defence, just plays it up on the outside. Ray Jordan moving across very quickly across to his left, but just shadowed it really, and the ball went up to mid-on. So the total remains on 99 for 3. Barnwell is yet to score. Johnson looks on from the non-striker's end. He's 52. And how graciously and skillfully he has played. We're in very dark condition. Looks more like 6 o'clock in the evening rather than, what time is it now? Just about maybe 3:22. As he's going to be supported. That's McSween with 2 slips and a gully, backward point, extra cover mid-off. Mid-on, mid-wicket, moves in now to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell is off the back foot and hits that just over the cover area. That's going to go into the boundary for 4. He didn't necessarily handle it very well, was off the back foot, and it was airborne, but he's off the mark by 4. Quite a dramatic way to get off the mark. The 100 has now come up for Guyana. Jaguars 100 runs, 181 balls, 141 minutes. And of course, that's a milestone, Tony, but they still got a long way to go.
Yes, they still got a long way to go. It means that it has to be partnership. Remember when the Windwards batted, the lower order of the Windwards posed tremendous problems to the Guyanese bowlers. We had 2. Kotoy got a half century. Shane Chillingford got a half century. Remembering that those 2 will be batting at 7 and number 8. So it means that the lower order really posed a lot of problems to the Guyana in posting a total of 317. So they will have their work cut out for them, both Barnwell and, of course, Johnson, who has batted well as he face up again to Shane Chillingford.
Chillingford will move in to bowl to Johnson. Johnson is coming forward, gets a nicely flighted delivery, plays it up on the onside, and will not be able to get a single for that. Total remains on 103 for 3. Johnson is 52, 89 deliveries for his 52. As Chillingford again round the wicket in now and bowls to Johnson. Johnson gets a poor delivery down the leg side. We'll have to see what the umpire would say. It's running very close to the boundary and will go over the boundary line now. That's gone for 4 leg byes. No signal by the umpire. Wayward delivery. It was slanted down the leg side and it was a difficult take, of course, for the keeper who didn't have much of a chance at all, and it went down to the boundary for 4. The total has moved on now with those 4 extras, gone to 111 for 3, and that's the second time Shillingford has been really sliding it dangerously down the leg side, and both occasions yielded 4 runs and then 4 leg byes.
Yes, deliveries that was badly lined again from the shading. The ball is not turning and it's pitching outside the line of the leg stump and just going straight through the arm.
All the ones on the scoreboard as a delivery that is pushing Johnson under the back foot and plays it out to mid-wicket, and there is no run. 111 for 3. It'll be nice to see Johnson go on here and have a nice accommodating big total. He's a good player. Shillingford is in and bowls to Johnson. Johnson is just coming forward, gets the delivery that is just pulled back in length a little bit, but it's right onto the middle and off stump. Just eases onto the back foot and turns it up on the onside. Still no run. Total remains on 111 for 3. Shillingford in again from the northern Odabo end, and he is there now and bowls to Johnson. Faster delivery outside the off stump, cuts down to Kotoy, who is there as constant as the Northern Star, like a traffic policeman. He's there and guarding that area with all his life, and he's done a great job. Whether the ball has been going straight to him, to the left or to the right, he's made great coverage, got a safe pair of hands as Shillingford again moves in with what should be into his third over. Delivery that is pushed up to extra cover. That completes the over, the end of his third. 3 overs, no maiden, none for 8. McSween, 10 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 18. He's really bowled very well. 107. I think the scoreboard has just made an adjustment because they just pushed the score up a little much too far. It's 107 for 3. More thoughts from Tony Dixon, and then it'll be Justin Hector.
Yes, I think you will see Johnson changing his approach a bit. He will remain positive, but at the same time, I think he will be a little bit more defensive, having lost the wicket of Chevron Hepmeyer. They were going great guns, and with the responsibility now more on his shoulders, having lost Hepmeyer, being joined by Barnwell, I think we'll see him playing more in the frame of Kevin Hodge. As we say, welcome to the microphone to Justin Hector.
Yeah, Tony. And here is McSween on his way to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell gets a delivery pitched up and played nicely off the pad, over pitch on the pad, and it's drawing away towards boundary. They're gone for 1, they will be back for the second. They will not go into the boundary and they will not come back for the third. So 2 runs to Barnwell. He played crisply through the onside, a delivery just over pitch on the pad.
Yeah, and I think Maxwell should do what he's been successful, and that is bowling on or body off stump. That was a bit too straight, but middle and leg, and Barnwell drove it sweetly and crisply up to mid-on. But I think Maxwell should remain with what works for him, and that is in that corridor and something just around the off stump.
Yeah, strong breeze blowing across the field as Maxwell comes in and bowls to Barnwell. Barnwell this time is beaten. That delivery just thumping into the tie pad. Here probably a little movement back into the right hander. As we have said, the breeze has picked up. It's quite a little bit dark, but certainly a lot more breeze than you've seen earlier on.
Yeah, and it's we in the air conditioned unit also, so it seems a little bit gloomy there in here, yeah. A little bit bright on the outside though.
Here again is McSween. Left arm around the wicket to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell, drives outside the off stump. Again, probably with the angle, expecting the ball to come into him. Instead, it left him and passed dangerously close to the edge, taken by Stewart.
And that's the line Maxwell needs to be bowling. He's not quick by any stretch of the imagination. His left arm medium pace gets the ball to come into the right-handed batsman. And on this occasion, just around that area there, Johnson looking to play an expansive drive through the offside of the back foot early in his innings. Ill-advised, I will say. But Maxwell would not mind that. 2 slips in a gully, waiting there for anything that will be touched as he comes in again to bowl to Barnwell.
Bass is the umpire to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell again gets one pitched up and plays it beautifully through the offside. That will run for away for 4. And certainly this time again over pitching, this time on the offside, and given the treatment.
It's a good shot. I think it was a poor effort, however, by Shane Shillingford. Probably could have put in the dive, but gave it up very early. We saw probably had it been Qatar, he probably would have cut off that. But it's a very nice shot by Barnwell there, over pitch delivery and coming on the front foot and playing crisply and very beautifully up to mid off. 4 runs. Good shot.
Yes, so Let's see what Max Swin will do again as he turns and begins again to move into bowl to Banwell, who to this delivery gets one again pitched up and driven up towards mid-on. Can't score this time, and there is no run. Banwell is on 10, 52 to Johnson, 113 for 3. Remembering, of course, the Volcanoes would have amassed 318 in the first innings, so quite a long way to go for the Guyanese. And as Maxine begins to move in again to bowl to Banwell. Banwell is beaten, appeal for LBW, probably with the umpire saying that probably just missing the off stump, struck outside the off stump most likely.
Yeah, a little bit of bat and pad there also, but that's the line. Maxwell looking for swing, and so obviously every now and again he will deliver a half volley and will be driven, but he wouldn't mind that because he's looking for swing. He does swing the ball very well, and trying to bring the ball up to the batsmen, and making them play almost every delivery. And once again, deceiving Banwell there. Good delivery, not a bad over by Maxwell once again. Good over.
Maxine, 11 overs, 4 maidens, 24 runs, 2 wickets. Not only has he bowled well, he's been quite economical. Shillingford will continue. He's in his 4th over, 3 overs, 1 maiden, 8 runs, no wicket. 113 for 3. Here is Shillingford on his way to bowl to Johnson. Johnson comes forward and steers it out towards the offside, where Cotoy comes in from point to the fielding. There is no run. And let's say good afternoon to Rafael Crony, who has slipped in beside me.
Good afternoon, Justin.
Shane Shillingford moves in again to bowl to Johnson. Again, bad delivery down the leg side and swept away down behind square on the outside, and that will go away again to the boundary. Probably for the 3rd time we've seen in the spell of Shillingford so far. He has drifted towards the legs and been punished.
Yeah, good shot by Johnson. Again, strained down the leg side. Full pitch down the leg side, and he swept it fine. So the fielder backwards square on the boundary really had no chance, and that went down for another 4.
Strange the fact that Shillingford struggling a bit with the control. It's a strong breeze. We've seen quite a bit of breeze if it's affecting him to a certain extent. As he comes in on bowl, so Johnson gets one wide outside the off stump and drives it up towards extra cover, but can't score. Goes straight out towards the fielder at extra cover, the captain Hodge, and there is no runs. And Johnson, he's batted well, he's on 56. Barnwell is on 10. He waits for Shane Shillingford again with only a slip in place, Devon Smith, as he comes into bowl to Johnson. Johnson comes forward and gets a delivery again, more drifting towards the leg side. This time he comes forward and plays it up on the onside of the wicket. Shillingford skips across to do the fielding. Of course, there is no runs. It's Shillingford again, just on the top of his mark, just almost starting behind the umpire. And now comes into full view to bowl to Johnson. Johnson comes forward and again, well defended. This time, much better delivery than the previous 2 deliveries. And Johnson can do no more than to come forward and push it up towards the onside. Fielded again by Shillingford. Here is Shillingford again getting ready, moving to bowl to Johnson, who to this delivery is again, this time off the back foot, just pushes him back and to bring up the end of the over, which in the end was not a bad over considering the first ball which was slippery for 4.
Yes, and he concentrated on quite a bit of flight there. You see in this over, Shillingford is not getting much turn off the wicket, and really he's dependent quite a lot on flight. So you have been flighting the ball very well in this over. One that's straight down the leg side was hit for 4. But generally I've been keeping it pretty tight, batsman having to come forward for every delivery. So he would be looking to really use his flight really to try and see how he could probe out one of those wickets. But the wicket continues to play very well, and as a spinner you have to use some other method besides being able to turn the ball to get wicket, and certainly he have been focusing quite a bit on his flight.
117 for 3. Banwell is on 10. Non-striker Johnson on 56. Here is Preston Maxwell again. This time delivery short on the body, turned away on the onside. They gone for 1. They should come back for the second. Yes, quite easily and comfortably taken. So 2 more runs to Banwell. It's been quite busy since he has come in.
Yeah, delivery cuts into the right-handed Banwell, and he played with the tide, turned it to a square leg. position which is vacant. And the fielder from mid-wicket had to run a long leg on the boundary, and there were two easy runs.
Yes, so Maxwell, however, has bowled quite well so far. He's probably been the best of the bowlers for the Volcanoes in this innings.
Yeah, you have been able to get the ball to move both ways, and condition is ideal for this sort of bowler, and certainly he have been doing pretty well.
Farmer is in again. Nice, easy, relaxed approach. Comes out and bowls to Banwell. Ball hit in the air just past the left hand of the man at short wicket. It's going away towards the boundary. They gone for one, will not get there, and they just shot the second. So 2 more to Banwell, just carrying his life on his sleeve, so to speak.
But he is an attacking player, and he looked probably to hit that ball some way through mid-off, and it came back into him. You know, he got it just to the left of the mid-wicket, who is straightish, and he was lucky to pick up 2 runs in. But there again, you see him looking to drive with the ball up to him.
He's on 14. He waits for Maxwell again, and again driving in the air and caught. This time, no, in fact, he's put it down. You can't believe it. A catch that really should have been taken by Shillingford. Again, Banwell looking to drive on the offside this time, straight to Shillingford, you can see, and he didn't hold on to it. Bad luck for the Volcanoes.
And that was a bad miss. The delivery before came back into him, and as he was looking to drive again to that offside position, it went, as I see, mid-wicket, straight mid-wicket. And this time, again, looking for the drive, that one actually was moving away from the right-hander and went to mid-off, and suddenly he should have been taken by Shillingford, who got both hands to it and couldn't hold on.
Yes, it did look like he had it, only that after he's seen the ball on the ground, it's really a catch that should have been taken. Once again, hard luck for Maxwell. He has really bent his back, he's put a lot into it. But he continues anyway. Ball to Johnson, who to Disley, he's getting a short one, looking to pull, not really getting hold of it, and just getting it behind square on the onside. And he picks up a single, and as Jordan comes around to do the fielding. So that's the, well, it's not the end of the over. The field just changing over for the right-handed Banwell again, who has been looking, as you're saying, he came out and, as usual, he decided to play some shots, but he's taking some risk.
Yeah,
and should have paid for it.
He's an attacking player, and obviously he's looking to put the pressure back on the Volcanoes, and in doing so, he obviously give you a chance.
123 for 3. Banwell is on 15. He waits again for Maxwell, who comes in the ball to him, and this time again he's driving off the outer portion of the bat, stares it out, and it goes quickly down towards third man, backward point boundary for 4. This time off the back foot, and you get the feeling that he was not in full control.
Yeah, but he played it well. Actually, it was short, and it didn't come up much. So I think he was able to get over it and hit it between that backward point and that square cover position, and went down to the boundary for 4. So he continues to be very attacking. He's, if the ball is there to be hit, he's going to hit it.
He's gone to 19 from 13 deliveries. So it's been really busy, as I said, since he came. 127 for 3. Here is Maxwell again on his way to Banwell. Banwell this time is in defence and plays it up towards the man who he offered the chance earlier, Shillingford, who feels comfortably on this occasion. However, Johnson is on 57-19 to Banwell. 127 for 3 is the latest score here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, good over by Maxwell. He have been able to get the ball to move both ways, off the wicket. We have seen him, a bad miss in that over, the wicket of Banwell. He was dropped up mid-off. But again, there's, keeping the ball up to the bat, I think is very important. And with the atmosphere as it is, the swing that they're getting, I think really is the best bet. And we have seen Maxwell doing it in this over. The short delivery bowled, obviously was given the treatment, hit down to backward point. So the condition just ideal for swing bowling, and really you have to use the condition, to your benefit.
Yes, and really hard work is to take the chances when they're offered. Johnson drives up towards long off as Lewis comes off the boundary, just walks in to pick the ball up. It's an easy single for Johnson. It brings the more prognosis Barnwell into strike. I think he's taking strike for the first time to Shillingford. Yeah, so Johnson goes to 58. 19 to Banwell. See what type of approach he will take against the spinner. 128 for 3.
Well,
Still a very long way to go in this innings.
and he's been crowded with leg slip forward, short leg slip, and we see another fielder is probably going to just a mid-wicket position, so he under a bit of pressure in terms of attack.
Harry Shillingford on his way to bowl to Banwell. Banwell gets a delivery which whips away into the mid-wicket area, and will pick up a single as the fielder comes off the mid-wicket boundary to do the fielding. So there's rotation in the strike, and I'm sure Shillingford probably would have preferred to bowl 1 or 2, 3 probably deliveries to Banwell early in his innings. He goes to 20, 58 to Johnson, who comes back on strike. 129 for 3.
Just a bit too much down the leg side, maybe too.
As he goes, flutters in the breeze, comes in and bowls to Johnson. Johnson going for an expansive drive and not really getting hold of it. The ball just bouncing away towards the captain Hodge, who is at a short mid-off, and there is no runs. Now just sending the fielder out towards the cover boundary for Johnson. As Shillingford moves in again to bowl to Johnson, who to these deliveries allowing it to go through, to be taken by Stewart. Not much spin at all, just almost.
Again, the variation in Shillingford bowling, the delivery before he flighted just a little wide. This one he pushed it through a bit.
Here is Shillingford again on his way to bowl to Johnson. Johnson this delivery gets one, he spins a bit more, goes onto the back foot, opens the face of the bat and steers it out towards Cotoy, who comes in to do the fielding. There is no run. Johnson remains on 58, 22 non-striker Banwell, 129 for 3. The Jaguars, Shillingford in what would be should be final ball in the over, comes in and bowls to Johnson. Johnson driving again, looking to push it up towards mid-off. Shillingford does well, comes across and knocks it down to bring up the end of another Shillingford over. At the end of it, 58 it is to Johnson, 20 to Banwell, who would be on strike for the next over. 129 for 3 is the latest score here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, good inning by Johnson. He's 58 not out of 106 deliveries. Just as we would have seen in the ball Caden's inning, where Hodge would have played at captain's inning. We see Johnson now playing a very good innings. I think that he seemed to be very focused, and really he's playing a good innings.
In rather strange conditions here, but good conditions still for cricket. So here is Maxwin again, this time to Banwell. Banwell again drives up towards crisply, up towards mid-on, and they can't score. So
I would have loved to see Justin probably a seamer coming from this northern end. With the condition, probably even, if not Jordan back, but it is a sort of condition that you expect your seamers to do well.
So the umpires are coming together again for some discussions. From here we can tell what the discussions are really. Is it the light? It's possible. It's not very bright out there.
Yes, certainly. I think the condition is, they are meeting on the conditions. From where we sit here, it doesn't look too bright out there. And we have a seamer operating, fast bowler operating, so it seems as though the light will be with the offer. They're probably gonna go
once
off.
again, they probably will just yes, the umpires pick the bails up, it seems, or maybe getting the light meters onto the stumps from that level. So once again, I think the light could well be the issue.
Yeah. Even though the breeze seemed to be picking up, but it's very gloomy.
Yeah, it's very, very gloomy. It's strange, very strange weather conditions we have seen this evening. In fact, in recent times, it hasn't rained. And
we're not used to this sort of weather. It's like the English condition, but there's not an immediate threat of rain. The clouds is heavy, but very high. And,
we don't know whether there is a few spots of rain out there. There were a few spots of rain all year before he came on commentary, but
and the breeze has now picked up. We look at the side screen, the flags to the far end.
Well, the present situation is the Guyana Jaguars, they're 129 for 3. Johnson is on 58, 20 to Banwell. And the umpires are just, as we said, ensuring that the light is very good for the players. And you can look at the scoreboard and it's very, very bright. It means that it's a little bit darker there.
But just a
And
bit.
it's very windy.
Yeah, just a bit of the bowling. Maxwell had 2 for 34 in 12 overs. He actually in his 13th over when this break came. Shillingford and none for 14 in 5 overs. So he have been, haven't been doing much trouble to the batsmen. They seem to be playing him very well. But I thought that Maxwell would have bowled pretty well.
Yes, 12.1 overs, 4 millions, 34 runs, 2 wickets. Shillingford, though economical, hasn't caused too many problems to the batsmen so far. Shillingford, 5 overs, 1 million, 14 runs, no wicket. And I think Guyana probably would be still ruining the loss of Shimon Hetmeyer. It's a big blow struck there. Once again, Hetmeyer probably a bit too adventurous in his stroke play. And but deceived really by the bowler.
Well, I've seen him in 3 innings on this stadium wicket, and he got out to actually playing the same shot, to the short deliveries. One deep backward square on the boundary, and then today, he looking for that pull shot, and he was out in very short mid wicket. The 4th shot leg just have to run back to take a dolly catch. Again, he's looking for the pull shot. So that seemed to be probably one of his weaknesses, and we would have seen the field set in such a way that there was a deep backward square on the boundary and a long leg.
Well, we're about to start again, and Maxwell is continuing from the southern end to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell plays straight back up on the offside, knocked down by the bowler, and there is no run. He remains on Barnwell on 20, 58 to Johnson, and 129 for 3. So a crucial point, that's a crucial stage in the game. I think if the Windward can pick up 1 or 2 wickets again before they close, I think they would have probably had the better of the day's play.
Yeah, they would love to do that. And I see the conditions, and we're looking at the pair that is in the wicket now, probably maybe the last really recognized batsman. And therefore they would feel that they are in a position to make that major breakthrough, probably picking up 1 or 2 more wickets.
They should be very much aware of that as batsman bowls to Barnwell. Barnwell this time is a little more circumspect, comes forward and plays up on the onside. And again, there is no run. He remains on 20, 58 to Johnson, 129 for 3.
Yeah, I think what the seamers need to do is to bring the ball up and give it some time, an opportunity to swing, use the crease and just try to maximize use.
There he is again. Maxwell will bowl to Barnwell. A delivery locked again tight onto the middle and leg stump, which he can only push up towards the mid-on area. The fielder from short mid wicket comes across to do the fielding, and of course there is no run. So a little quiet period. Yeah. Since the fall of Hetmeyer, and of course the rate at which Barnwell started. As here is again Maxwell to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell gets this time a loose delivery on the body, turns it in through the mid-wicket area. There's a chase on there for Jordan. However, the fielder Lewis from backward square comes around to do the fielding, and the batsman can pick up 2. So 2 more it is to Barnwell, takes him on to 22. Johnson is on 58, 131 for 3. The latest score here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, good shot by Barnwell. Again, that ball cut into him, and he played with the tide and turned it to square leg again, which is vacant. So the mid-wicket fielder had to chase to the square leg boundary, and he picked up 2 more. But good shot.
So he waits again for Maxwell, who moves in again from the southern end to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell gets one, this comes off the outer portion of the bat. Rather fortunate, and we run away towards the 3rd man boundary. The unprotected 3rd man boundary for 4. This time beaten by that. The ball coming off the outer portion of the bat and going away for 4.
Yeah, very fortunate to get 4 down to 3rd man. It was a good delivery. He was on his front foot. This one stayed down a bit, but you could see it at the left, the right-handed batsman as he came down and took the outside edge and went down to that between gully and that where that second slip would have been, and go down to the boundary for 4. But again, bringing the ball up to the bat, having the batsman to come on the front foot with whatever movement he's getting, is really causing some concern to the batsman. And Maxwell, despite going for 40, but continues to bowl well, continue to keep the ball up, continue to move it both ways.
Yes,
and
indeed.
the batsman certainly will have to be very watchful against him.
26 to Banwell, yeah. 26 to Banwell, though. He's moved on to 26 with his boundary. And still, I think still there is some concern about the issue of the lights.
Yeah. But just to go back, we are seeing what is happening with Maxwell coming from that southern end. One would have thought really that, probably would see him coming from this end. Even Yajam, I think when he bowled, he was able to get the ball to move both ways, especially come back into the batsman. I probably would have been tempted to use him from this northern end under these conditions.
So here is Shillingford on his way to bowl to Johnson. Now to this delivery is just coming across and allowing the ball to go through to be taken by Emmanuel Stewart behind the stumps. He has looked quite accomplished behind the stumps, Emmanuel Stewart. Very little man.
Yes, even from his youth level under 19, he always looked good, and his keeping has really improved.
Here is Shillingford again to bowl to Johnson. Johnson drives again, and beautiful piece of fielding by the captain at shortish extra cover. Certainly, if that had beaten him, he certainly would have gone for 4.
Yeah, over pitch and really didn't take full
delivery outside the off stump by Shillingford. He remains on 58, 135 for 3, and this time a delivery much straighter, much tighter, and all Johnson can do is come forward and play it up towards the Hodge, who is at short extra cover, and again there is no run. He remains on 58. Banwell just tapping his bat away at the long striker's end. Here he is again coming forward, Shillingford. Much flighty delivery. It's slower than the previous 2. And again Johnson coming forward and just had to wait a little longer. Pushes it up towards extra cover again, and there is no run. So 58 it is to him. Left-handed, stocky left-handed batsman, former West Indies player. As here is Shillingford, and again, so bad delivery again, well down the leg side, and that will give the fielder a challenge, but picks up. And Johnson will come back for another 2. Shillingford almost every over has been really tugging, pushing that ball down the leg side.
Yeah, bad line again, and Johnson didn't get hold of it. Probably they got it high up on the bat and it went down to long leg. Again, the fielder, fine leg, went down. The fielder had long leg having to run around and just stopped it just before it get over the boundary.
60 to Johnson, waits for Shillingford to this delivery outside the off stump. Appeal for almost a stifle appeal for caught. No response from the umpire. That brings up the end of another Shillingford over. At the end of it, 137 for 3. The Jaguars. Johnson is on 60, 26 to Banwell.
Yeah, bad shot by Johnson. Again, he looking to pick the gap between the slip and the backward point there, looking to. And this ball was wide up there. Somebody was looking really to stay down to that vacant position, but he made no contact. But again, he continues to play well, and it's important for him to be there. I think the Jaguars will really love this pair to stay until the end. This so far has put a partnership of 39 after the loss of Hetman, and certainly they will want to go on without further loss.
Well, Maxwell is continuing his bowling to Banwell, who to this delivery is getting one on the pad and appeal for leg before. Not out, says the umpire. One which seemed to have been sliding down the leg side. So he got a leg by signaled by the umpire. And it takes extras now onto 8 on 8. And the total onto 100 and extras could be a 9. The total up to 138 for 3. So it brings Johnson on 60 back on strike to. In fact, it brings Banwell. Johnson, in fact, yeah, it's back on strike. Banwell, Johnson back on strike to Preston Maxwell. A lot of chatter all day, and really you can see the breeze, the trousers of the players really fluttering in the breeze, strong breeze blowing across the outfield as Maxine bowls and Johnson comes across and plays it out into the mid-wicket area. Jordan comes across and does the fielding. There is no run.
Yeah, and another good delivery by Maxwell as he came forward. The ball came into him and played it out to mid-wicket. And again, he's keeping the ball up to the bat and really being able to get the ball to move.
Yeah. Now with a strong breeze blowing from right to left, you get the ball to come into the left-hander. Again, our delivery just shaping into the left-hander a bit, and Johnson can do no more than to get in behind it and push it out on the offside. So there is no run. So he remains on 60. 26 to Banwell. It's batted quite resolutely as he taps away again to wait for Johnson with 2 slips and a gully. Comes in on balls to Johnson. Johnson is driving up to the bowler. Probably the ball hit at the very bottom of the bat. Maybe he got into the shot just a bit too early.
Yeah, had to reach for it really.
Yeah, at the end.
And played it back along the wicket. But it's a bit about the wicket. It has played very well. You know, the fast bowlers bend their back. They want to get something out of it, but the play shots on that wicket is not difficult either.
60 to Johnson. Wait for Maxwell. Gets at the outside. He also opens the face of the bat and runs it down behind point on the offside. They're going for 1, and that's all they'll be. As again, the ever so present Katoy comes in and does the fielding. And a single to Johnson to take him on to 61. 26 to Banwell, who is back on strike. And the field just changing over to accommodate the right-handed batsman. Of course, it's always a challenge when you have the left and right-handed batsmen to contend with.
That's why it's so important to pick up the singles, you know, make it more difficult for the bowler.
But Maxwell wouldn't mind that. He has been getting the ball to leave the right-hander at times. And again, clipped away of the pad. He's gone for 1 through the mid-wicket area. He's turning, they'll come back for the second, and again, Katoy having to come around from the backward of square boundary towards the deep wicket boundary to do the fielding. Sends a strong return back to the keeper, but 2 runs to Banwell. He goes to 28. 61 to Johnson, 141 for 3 is the latest score here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, 141 for 3. And the Guyana Jaguars really want to find themselves in a position at the end of the day where they could really challenge that score of 317 seriously. But Maxwell again continued to get the ball come into the right-handed batsman, and just probably too straight, and as it comes in, he turned it to mid-wicket and pick up 2 runs. So you probably just need to pitch that ball just a bit wide outside the off stump, because coming into the batsman, that would cause him to have to come forward to play the ball coming in. But when it is straight, you know, it's much easier for the right-handed batsman to play with the tide. And certainly you just have to look at the line that he's bowling when he's going to swing the ball in and when he's going to move it away. But that line just outside the off stump, going both ways, you know, would create much more doubt in the mind of the batsman. So maybe you just need to adjust that line just a bit.
Yeah, so it will be Shane Shillingford again to continue from the northern or the Darbo end. And batsman not quite ready as Shillingford on top of his mark. Waits and moves in now to bowl to Johnson. Johnson comes forward and just plays it slowly up on the offside. Hodge having to move from a straightish extra cover towards the cover area to do the fielding, and there is no run. Johnson taps away the crease again and waits for Shane Shillingford to come in to bowl to him. Here he is on his way to bowl to Johnson. Johnson comes forward again, and a similar shot, similar fielding for Hodge, and of course there is no run as a result. 61 to Johnson as Shillingford again gets ready to move into bowl to Johnson, who to this delivery gets a quicker delivery and just a little bit back of a length, and having to go onto the back foot and just play defensively up towards extra cover. And again there is no run. He remains on 61. 28 to Banwell, 141 for 3 as Shillingford gets ready again to move into bowl to Johnson, who to this delivery gets one this time a little more towards leg stump and pushes it up on the onside of the wicket. Shillingford himself comes across to the fielding, and there is no run for Johnson. Shillingford in his 7th over begins to move in now again to bowl to Johnson. Johnson again gets one outside the off stump, and a little bit of luck there. The delivery going down towards third man will get there, having a flash outside the off stump, and I don't know if he just came off the glove of the keeper. Could have been possible.
I think he was
down
given the
towards
room
third man.
outside the off stump, and he really flashed at it. And the good thing about it, he flashed hard, so he probably have taken the edge and just probably went to the left of the keeper very quickly, and it went down to third man for 4.
So 4-2 Johnson, he's on 65, and 28 to Banwell, 145 for 3. So a little bit of luck there. But again, it was not the best delivery. It was wide, it was outside the off stump. As Johnson waits for Shillingford again on his way to bowl to him, who to this delivery this time a little bit closer and fuller in length, and Johnson allows the final delivery of the over to go through. So at the end of another Shillingford over, he's bowled 7 overs, 1 bidden, 20 runs, no wicket. Johnson is on 65, 28 to Banwell, 143 for 3 as Drinks comes onto the field.
Well, I don't know, Justin, if it's a strategy of the volcanoes to probably keep one in tight and trying to keep Shane Shillingford bowling from this northern and just to keep things tight. But not much is happening in terms of his bowling, in terms of penetration. He's just trying to bring the ball up to the bat and maybe hoping that the batsman is going to make a mistake. That delivery that went down to third man for 4 again is a flighty delivery, but wide off the off stump. And I think Johnson took the opportunity to flash hard, and that was a good thing that he did. He flashed very hard. He took the edge and really he went quickly past the fielder and slip and the keeper down to the boundary for 4. But I think the batsmen are basically equal. He's not creating any problem. He's not getting much turn, and therefore not creating that sort of challenge to the batsman. And this is what that's what I'm thinking. But you're not missing any cricket. The water cat is on the field. I'm thinking that maybe having a seamer coming from this end, certainly would have create a bigger challenge with the condition we are faced with now and the ball moving both ways.
Lewis seemed to have incurred some sort of injury, be it a shoulder injury or something. We did see the physio just working on the shoulder on a couple of occasions. And while he was on the top of his mark, one of the players just seemed to have been working on his shoulder. So I don't know if he has a slight injury, which means that he couldn't be bowling as much as they would have liked.
Well, we were commenting on his bowling when he's coming from that southern end, and the aggression. He wasn't running that quickly, and his arm just seemed to be going over. I could remember him, maybe just a couple of years ago on the said wicket. The aggression that he shows in terms of coming into bowl, it just seems as though everything was not right. As he runs in and he just turns his arm over. So there could be something that is not right. Maybe he's not 100% fit. And even as we said that, after we saw him on the long leg boundary, and the physios are just doing some massage. So probably he really is not 100% fit.
It is just sitting around there, not really paying any attention to that part of his body, that shoulder, which we suspect he may have had a problem with. And players taking their time, relaxing. It hasn't been at all a difficult day in terms of the weather, in terms of heat. It's been nice and cool. As I said, pretty overcast for most of the day. And it's very rare that I could remember having a day like that when it has been almost overcast for the entire duration of play so far.
Yeah, it's not something we are used to. It's not something that is normal in terms of the sort of weather that we are having here in terms of the conditions. As we see the breeze continue to blow. This time seem to be from west to east, but outside still seem to be pretty still, and really and truly it just seemed to be getting a little darker by the minute, so.
I'm not blessed with good eyesight like you, but it seems like the ground staff are being summoned. Oh yes, and the players are going off. So yeah, there's a few drops of rain, and quite certainly the umpires have called the players off the field. So we cannot see from behind what is actually happening, but the fact that the ground stuff has come on is a sign that there is some rain and some concern about the conditions. At the moment, of course, Johnson is not out on 65. Barnwell is not out on 28, 145 for 3. The latest score here, the Jaguar, chasing a total of 318. And of course, we're not beginning to see some raindrops on the glass in front of us, and therefore, going out at this time, as you're wondering whether there will be time enough to come back with the condition as it is. And of course, in this part of the hemisphere, where at about 5:35, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, the ground staff is now about bring the covers on, and I think looking at the weather condition, as you see, a few spots of rain, it's now beginning to drizzle slightly, and they would want to make sure that the wicket is properly covered, nothing harms the wicket. So one, with the drops of rain and the condition as it is, on the dark side, I think probably it's a wise decision to probably halt play for the time being, and make sure the wicket is covered.
So we've had an interruption for what is a combination of rain and very overcast conditions. Quite dark it is at the moment here, and of course, as we have said earlier, the situation of the game is the Volcanoes earlier on today would have been bowled out for 318, the 317, both these say 318, 317 they were bowled out for. The Jaguars, on the other hand, in reply, they were 145 for 3. Leon Johnson is not out on 65. Barnwell is not out on 38. And we, of course, if there is any play, we'll be back here to continue. It's very unlikely with the weather as it is at the moment. So until we have better news for you, it's back to the master controls.